Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Um, Today, we will talk a little bit about the experience of the first cohort for Exel Gaming Accelerator. With us, our two EIRs, entrepreneur in residence, Aitar Lozano and Alex Polsky. Both of them have been a vital part of the first batch of the accelerator. They will share their experience, their journey during the first batch, and help future participants or future startups that will join the accelerator to join us and learn more about uh, how was the first batch and what's the benefit and the advantages that the participants in the first batch got and learned. At the beginning, I will give the mics to our two EIRs, Aitor and Alex, to give a brief and introduce themselves. Starting maybe with Alex or Aitor. Any of you wants to start first? Go ahead, Alex.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexander Poisky. I am the EIR here at Excel by Merak. I've been here since the beginning of the first cohort, through the camp remotely to the on-site aspect of everything. Aitor and I have been hands-on with everyone and very involved. On a professional level, I'm a video game publisher. I've been working in the industry for 15 years, and I'm basically in charge of the business development aspects of things, the business side of things, marketing side of the mentorship that we're giving, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Alex. To you, Aitor.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, I would not much more to what Alex says about the introduction for the cohort. Maybe about me, I can start with my background. I'm a computer science engineer, and I've been also, funny thing, almost 15 years too, as a game developer, Play Medusa. My primary tool in that time has been Unity. Uh, we've been like working extensively with it. In that time, we have been developing and self-publishing our own games while providing development services to third parties. So thanks to that part of the job, I've been leading remote teams for mobile games, for major brands, for VR games. I mean, different type of games, um, different type of projects with several platforms from mobile, Steam, VR, whatever in the middle. Different game engines. I'm on the technical side of things in this cohort, trying to help the teams with any issues that they may face along the way, hopefully both in development and managing the teams. So yeah, I think that's more or less it.
Thank you so much, Aitor and Alex. Both of you are humbling your experiences. You have a vast experience in the gaming industry. Both of you have a plethora of knowledge to share with startups that is in the first cohort and to our audience in this webinar. So you are being very humble when it comes to introducing yourselves. Um, I want to go about explaining what is Exel Gaming Accelerator. So maybe Alex, if you can answer this question, Exel Gaming Accelerator. Um, Give us brief about it based on your experience in the first cohort and being in the accelerator committee. And then maybe Aitor, you explain a little bit about the selection process that has been happening or happened, sorry, for the first cohort.
Sure. So a little bit about the Excel by Merak first cohort. It's divided into two parts. There's a process an introduction to the accelerator, where we select a series of titles of founders to be able to participate in the boot camp. Now, the boot camp is a stringent process where we take these titles and over the course of a few weeks give a series of mentorships with a myriad of different mentors that come from all over the world, all over the industry, who give a lot of knowledge, a lot of feedback. And over the course of those days, we select the top groups that we feel resonate best with the accelerator, as well as have the most potential and have the most interesting products. So what we do is we collaborate with the mentors as EIRs, and we get in touch with the most prominent groups, the people that obviously that participate the most, have that do the best documentation, have the most potential. We look at a number of things. It's not just any one given thing. So we go down a big checklist of things. It's a very, as I said, stringent process, and we are left with what we feel are high quality, high tier, high yield projects that we can mentor. And that's where the second part of the accelerator comes in, which is the physical part. So it's there's a remote aspect, as I said, the boot camp, and then there's a physical aspect where we meet and we do over the course of many weeks, a few months in fact, a series of mentorships, one-on-ones, business development lessons, technical lessons from each of the EIRs. So we essentially become part of your day-to-day during the course of a very long period. And during this period, in my professional opinion, the quality of both the mentors and the education that we give is very high yield. It's something that people would pay a lot of money to attend. And I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for everyone else that is involved. I think that the quality of the mentors, the EIRs, and the staff is exceptional. And I don't say this lightly. And I think that what we should do is focus on forming more and more cohorts like this, and in this fashion, get just peak quality in the MENA region, I think. So that's
amazing,
my opinion.
amazing. And to you, Aitor, if you explain a little bit about the selection journey that has happened to select the top 18 companies that is joining us currently in the in-person accelerator.
Yeah, you mean specifically during the boot camp, right? The virtual boot camp.
Yeah, before the boot camp until afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
The accelerator committee role, your involvement, just to shed some light.
Yeah, shed some light. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I think it's a very complex project from our side, because we don't make like a likely selection. I would say we try to evaluate every single company, game, idea, however you want to call it, on a one per one basis. Because we know that every game, every idea, every company is different. That's why it may take longer than we may want it to be, I would say. And also, thanks to that first process, I would say, we try to set the foundation of the whole cohort, right? Because we usually get the idea of developing a game and we only care about the game itself. And since day one, you will face all the business related questions. And I think that's like the main shift that we need to make people happen in our heads, right? That change from the developer mindset to the business mindset, which is like a fundamental part of this cohort, right? Which at the same time is why is it so different, right? From just developing a game. It's about learning how to grow your business while doing those games that you like. So yeah, that's why it's a difficult process. because we don't take it lightly, I would say. Yeah.
Definitely. It's a very complicated and long process. As you explained, there is multiple stage to it. Two committees are involved, multiple steps to select the startups to join the accelerator and get funded by Mirak Gaming. I want to ask Alex a question. What is the role of an EIR? And before you answer, I would like to ask everyone to submit their questions, because at the end we will have 10 to 15 minutes Q&A section. So you can write your questions now, and then we will answer them at the end of the session. So to you, Alex, what is the role of an EIR in this program?
Okay, so an EIR is from start to finish, we're like a business friend, right? We're like a permanent mentor on the program. The mentors rotate every week, but we do not. We're there from start to finish. So we become very, very involved with the education and the advances and the growth of each of the founders. So we're here alongside you every step of the way. So we're from day one, minute one, second one, until the very last day when demo day happens and everything is done and dusted. We're here alongside an after part of the accelerator, where we will stay on board an additional time to help see if you resonate with publishers and the like. So basically what we're here for is we're here as an end-to-end solution, or an end-to-end I wouldn't say crutch, but I would say something like a helping hand all the way, right? So we act as mentors, we act as teachers, we help field any questions, we act as a liaison between Exel by Merrick as well as the mentors themselves, and we field any questions. So if you have any concerns, anything of that sort, business-wise, for me and technical wise, it would go to Aitor. We're there to bounce ideas off of. So we're there as a permanent source of mentorship, is what I would say. And on that note, we are very approachable. We have our set schedules, we have our hours, but you can stop us whenever you like and ask any question at any given moment. So as I said, we're business friends is how I would define it.
Yes, great. It's a very important role in any accelerator program to have an EIR, a permanent source of knowledge, an EIR persona. It's a founder or an ex-founder who have done it before, who have the experience, who have been in the situation that those startup founders are facing usually. So it's a very critical role, and it's a great to have you both supporting those startups, sharing your experience and knowledge, and that has been vital to our program. I want to ask you guys about your experience in this program. Maybe share some stories about some of the current startups that you helped. What is the progress or growth that you guys saw in the last 2 months of the accelerator, helping those startups, being there in person with them throughout the days? Maybe one of you could share some of those experiences.
Yeah, maybe I can start because
Sure.
I think this is not the happy one. Maybe you, Alex, can try to think about the happy one. But I maybe I would like to highlight that it is not an easy journey always, right? Because at the end of the day, here we're going to be struggling with so many things. Like game development itself is difficult, right? But we need to add to that equation here, getting a visa, working with public entities, depending on people that don't belong to your company, let's say. So we need to get used to that, because setting a company is about that. No matter where you live, that there's always setbacks, right? I think that maybe as developers, when we start working on game development, we don't usually think about that part, right? So that's one thing. But at the same time, like Excel is providing like a tremendous help to help you to figure out legal aspects, how to deal with the public entities, how to speed up the visas, or navigating all of that. That itself, I think it's a journey that has been going on through the whole acceleration program. And yeah, I think it's something that everyone needs to go through, because no matter if it's an acceleration program or just setting up your company, you need to do that. But here you have a lot of people that you can reach out for help, even if it's Alex and me about the company game itself, or legal team, finance team. I mean, I think that's something that you don't appreciate maybe until you need it. Yeah.
Definitely. And especially for international companies. So this program is tailored towards international and local startups, but for internationals especially, having someone to guide them through the difficult aspects of opening a company, establishing your business here, setting up your financials, understanding the fine and intricate details between the founders themselves. All of these aspects, Excel helps and provides resources to help those founders succeed and grow. To you, Alex, if you can share your experience in the accelerator.
Sure. I voice what I thought I said already about the legal business and everything side of things. It is a great, tremendous value add. But on a personal level, there's a couple of examples of how we provide added value in the form of, for example, one of the founders came in with a title that was a little bit more limited in scope than initially they had wanted, and they consulted us a few times about it. And eventually, what we did was determine that maybe the scope wasn't the problem, but it was the fundamental gameplay. So we did a shift in the gameplay design, and the game augmented, let's just say, for lack of a better word, we pivoted a little bit with the style and the genre of the game, and now it resonates much more with what the public wants. So there's that. We've provided a critical role there insofar as helping a company not I wouldn't say waste time, but waste a lot of resources and heartbreak on doing A/B testing, only to find out that a certain path was better 5 months down the line. So that it is wasted time and wasted money, so to speak. So we've avoided those pitfalls. Then there's another founder who's asked, initially they wanted to be presenting their title, one of their titles on demo day. And I said, one of your titles? I said, yeah, we have 3 titles, and we're scaling the company, and we're doing things like, we're doing things like outsourcing work and self-publishing. I said, well, what you're describing to me is having multiple pots on one big fire, and the conversation that we had was, wouldn't it be more interesting to sell the fire as opposed to the pots? So we shifted the focus from a single title to the company itself. That way, the investors that come down the line will be much more interested in a vehicle that has multiple titles and prospects of publishing and prospects of growing and scaling, as opposed to a single title. So sometimes it's that shift in focus that you don't see it's one of those don't see the forest for the trees kinds of things. And that's where we come in and we step back and we use our collective experience to help extrapolate what the best path is forward. So what I'm trying to get at is we help the founders avoid pitfalls that most founders make, and we save a lot of time.
Definitely, and it's a very good point, Alex. You mentioned that the accelerator helps those startups build a sustainable companies, build a company that will produce multiple games, not a single game that we will invest in or support or help accelerate. The end goal is to have a sustainable company that is producing multiple games with a clear monetization strategy. We improve their commercialization strategy, have a clear foundation on all aspects related to the company itself, how to hire employees, how to build your organization structure, all of these fine details that is the core and the main aspects of the accelerator. Maybe to you, Aitor, I want to ask a question about some maybe technical difficulties that the founders faced, and you maybe helped them during accelerator, or in general, what's the main mistakes or pitfalls when it comes to technical things that usually make when developing a game?
Okay, I think it's a bit difficult to think of something that applies to everyone. Maybe I would say there's a topic I really like, which is game feel. And I think that's something that may apply to everyone. And at the same time, I don't think it's something that it's only artistic. It's not only about the visuals, it's more about how the game feels and how the game reacts to the player, right? To the input. That's a never-ending process. That's something that needs to be like customized to every single game. You need to sit down and think how to improve that, how to make everything to feel better. And in that sense, I think that this program helps a lot because it's not something that happens in 2 weeks only. We have the time to go over and keep iterating over these ideas and keep improving the games. That also would apply maybe to any technicalities that we may face, because there's no right or wrong things, solutions, right, all the time. So yeah. Also, maybe one of the things that we have tackled during this program that many people were interested in was procedural generation and noise-based behavior, let's say. We adapt during the program. We make workshops to help on specific topics. But that one was one of the topics that we addressed here. So yeah, I think that's great that we have the flexibility to do that.
Amazing, amazing, Aitor. And Alex, if you can maybe share a little bit about the common pitfalls or mistakes when it comes to publishing, maybe marketing, how to sell your game, and or any stories that you faced during the accelerator when helping someone self-publish, or when it comes to the publishing itself. Yeah.
Perfect. So on my end, yeah, as a publisher, my insight is obviously going to be skewed towards propagation of publishing, because I feel that publishing is a very necessary part of any game's life cycle, especially for new founders. So if you've made a couple of titles in the past, I'm not saying big hits, but I'm saying if you've made a couple of titles in the past, maybe go down the self-publishing route, because you've experienced it and you know what you can do and what a publisher offers. But a publisher in general offers marketing, QA, localization, porting, production, you name it. Basically, a publisher worth his salt, their salt will be offering services that will be quantifiable in such a way that you can simply focus on development and hiring, and even then a publisher can help with outsourcing and hiring. So one of the common pitfalls that I've heard time and time again in in the accelerator and the bootcamp is what is a publisher for, and when should I approach one, right? So a publisher is going to help you, as I said, with all these things that I mentioned, and basically serves as a greasing the wheels to make sure that everything is operating as per usual and in a spick and span manner. And when you should approach them should be there's different times, right? If you have a very stellar title that even though you don't have a Steam page or any metrics is going to win awards, that will be a good sign of things to come, and you could probably find publishers right off the bat. But that's not the normal case. The normal scenario is you should have a Steam page set up and a true wish lists, which are the pretty much it's one of the only metrics, wish lists, followers, and Twitter engagement and TikTok engagement. These kinds of things are the metrics that we as publishers utilize to view to do a health check. We can't do really due diligence on a title because we don't know if the title will sell or not. But you need to make a calculated risk assessment. So in order to do that, you use things like wishlist counts, and as I said, TikTok engagement, Twitter engagement. These things are very, very superficial ways for a publisher to say, okay, at a glance, this looks like it could go well. Because at the end of the day, a publisher is going to invest a lot of time, money, and effort into your title. So they need to have not a guarantee that they'll make the money back, but obviously risk assessment is a very big part of it. So the common pitfall is when should we go for it? It would be after you have a Steam page and metrics to show, a good pitch deck, a good demo, a good vertical slice. When you're about 6 to 8 months away from launch would be a good moment to approach a publisher, is my opinion.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much, Aitor, for sharing both of your experience and the journey that you had in the first batch of the accelerator. Unfortunately, we are almost we run out of time actually, but we will have to answer at least a couple of questions that we got in the Q&A section. While Abdulmalik maybe is preparing those questions to be asked, I want to announce that the second cohort application is now open for Exel Gaming Accelerator through the website. So you can guys go to excelbymerak.com. Maybe Abdulmalik, if you can share the website to the people attending. You can apply through excelbymerak.com. It's a very simple application. The accelerator will start Q4 this year. So it's a limited time that the application will be opened. So we urge everyone to apply as soon as possible. Yeah, Abdulmalik.
Hi, everyone. We have a couple of questions, so we'll specify the name of the person that we would like to answer the question, and then say the question.
Okay.
So Faisal first. Let's see here. Yes. How is the second? I'm sorry. Do the mentors have multiple genres experience? This is the first question.
So definitely. In the first cohort, as an example, we had around 25 mentors visiting the accelerator. Each week we have 2 different mentors visiting and covering specific topics. So we have a plethora of experiences joining the accelerator. We have our EIRs who have amazing experience. All of these knowledge will be shared to those attending the accelerator.
Question. What are you personally looking for in a startup when you meet them for the first time?
To whom, sorry?
What are you personally looking for in a startup when you meet them for the first time?
I will give this question to Alex, maybe.
Yeah, it's for Alex.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. We didn't hear that. So
Sorry.
in a startup, what Excel is looking for mainly is potential, and potential is distilled into many different things. It's not just, oh, this game looks great. No, there's a lot of different factors. One of them is how well the cohesion is with the Excel group during the boot camp, for example, or participation or willingness to learn, because that is a very integral part of this. You have to be flexible. You have to go into this with the mentality that you have to not rule with an iron fist. You have to be flexible like copper. You have to be malleable, because your mentality is going to be shaped and molded and changed over the course of the accelerator. So there's that. You have to be additionally, just have an attitude that is, I'm not saying that everyone has to be humble, but they have to be understanding of the wealth of experience that the other party has, and be committed to learn from that. So there's a number of different factors. It's not just any one size fits all solution. It's just these are some of the factors that we come in, and then we additionally obviously look for a gut check, make sure the game is good, or the project is good, or the business concept is good. So it's a number of different factors that factor into what we look at for a startup in general. So I hope this helps a little bit, but it's not just any one specific genre. It's just a general amalgamation of different things here.
Okay. So for Aitor, we have a question. What trends in game design or monetization did you find most promising among the cohorts projects?
Oh, that's tricky actually, because I don't think there's black or white in there, like a single solution, a single answer. We have a bit of everything. Games that are free to play based on advertising or with a strong monetization model. We have premium games too. So I guess it's a matter of, does the game that you have designed does it fit that monetization model? I think that's the way I approach that answer. And we have, as Faisal already said, mentors that address that specific topic, right? So if it's not, if there are any issues regarding that, we can probably solve it out during the bootcamp. Yeah. I know it's maybe not the best answer, but hope it helps.
It's a very difficult question, Aitor, because I think this first batch we have great startups and very promising games and startups in the accelerator, and I think we will see them very soon growing a lot. Especially with the funding that they are getting from the Mira Gaming Fund and those investment from our partner, those resources that they are receiving. So definitely it's a difficult question to answer a specific one that you think is the best.
Thank you very much for your comments. Here we have a question for both EIRs. What common traits or habits stood out among the most successful founders you monitored during Excel first cohort?
If you want, I can take the first part of the question. I think the most, I mean, we don't have a litmus test for the success just yet, because they have released their titles. But I think the most promising founders are the ones, as I said, that are most mentally flexible, most willing to learn, most willing to not come into the room saying, I'm the best of the best, but I want to be. I want to be the best of the best, and I'm here to learn from the best, or from some of the best. So that's my opinion.
And I actually didn't get the second part, so if you may repeat, Abdul Malek, please.
What common traits or habits stood out among the most successful founders you monitored during Excel first cohort?
Actually, I still don't get it. Maybe I'm just missing in translation or something. But
Jump in. just to elaborate on the question, they're asking about any patterns or any traits that you picked up on the startups founders that you would say made them successful startups in the cohort, in the current cohort.
Okay. I think I would just voice what Alex said, because we are not looking for someone who doesn't have any flaws, right? I think everyone has a weak point, and that's why we have so many different mentors during the program with different profiles, expertise in different fields. So we don't expect an application to be perfect. But something that it's definitely nice to see when applying to the program is that you actually have a product, because you need that, right? That's part of your. I mean, we are looking for something more than just an idea. Once you have that, yeah, we start adding pieces to that puzzle, I would say, which is setting up the company, working on that, improving the idea, and so on. So maybe those two things.
Thank you so much, Aitor and Alex. I think we are running out of time, and I want to take the advantage of the couple of minutes that we have left. And we are sorry that we are running past our planned session time. I want to urge everyone to apply to the second cohort, even if you applied for the first one. The deadline is coming very short. If you apply early, you'll get a better chance of getting your application reviewed and scanned by our team. We have a large number of applicants applying, so the earlier you apply, the better. And in the last minute that we have, I will ask Aitor and Alex, each one of you, to give a closing remark or an advice for the founders that they are attending this session. What's your advice, Jeff? Yeah.
Be yourselves. Don't try to be someone you're not. Be yourselves. Be brave. Don't be afraid of failing. That's literally it.
Yeah, maybe I would just add, if you're thinking, if you are a bit much to the program, don't think about it. That's on us to that's our work. Maybe apply, because I think it's a great opportunity, and everyone who is able to apply for, they just should, to be honest.
Amazing. Thank you, both of you, Alex and Aitor. Thank you, everyone, for attending this session and this webinar. And if you have any questions or inquiries, please send us an email at info@exel.merak. Abdulmalik or Dima, please, if you can send the email address in the chat, and you can apply to our second cohort by visiting excelbymerak.com. And we have another session next week, a Q&A session with our VC team, who's handling the investment itself. It will be a great opportunity if you have anything related to the investment, how it is structured. All of these questions can be answered, inshallah, next week. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you very soon. Thank you.